benefit. And something I talk about in my books, one of the reasons why I liked the startup angle once I got to know you was the fact that my real estate projects can't 10x, but
Right.
my real estate projects have an extremely high probability of success. So it's, yeah, I would rather take my 2x at a 90% success rate. But then to get ultimate diversification, there's that long tail model that
Yes.
real startups provide, because you could get a 10x, 20x, 30x, 50x, whatever it is. And yes, your success rate might only be 10%, but when you diversify from a 90% success rate with a 2x multiple, with a 10% success rate, or a 5% success rate with a 20x, the combined portfolio becomes a better product, right? Uh,
Yep.
a greater potential return. As someone coming from the tech world that stumbled into the real estate world, what does your ideal portfolio look like between real estate and tech startups? And then what do you think someone who does, and this is not financial guidance or advice, this is more about, hey, what do you do personally? This is not you giving any financial advice, just portfolio allocations between the two asset classes.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would make the case that it's a deeply personal thing because you might be at a different stage of your life where that affects your risk tolerance and informs your risk tolerance. You may have needs and people who rely on you in a way where it becomes much more difficult to take bigger risks. I'm personally a fan. One of the reasons I really enjoy being an LP in syndication deals is, again, going back to uncertainty and risk. I understand how to read them. I understand how to assess an operator and their history well enough where I feel like I can typically understand if I can reduce the uncertainty enough to reduce the risk. To me, I'll say flat out that the vast majority of my illiquid wealth is in real estate backed assets. That goes for individual deals. It also I have a good amount of money in funds as well, large national funds. I am invested in startups. I'm also invested in cryptocurrency. Those are things that to me are much higher risk, much higher reward. At the risk of sounding hyperbole, I know very few people who invested. I know very few intelligent, experienced, networked people who invested in something real estate backed and that went to absolute zero. But I also, the people in my phone who invested very early on in a company that ended up worth $1 billion with a B, those, you don't see that in real estate.